Well, yesterday on the last podcast, we apologized for a story, and now we have to apologize for the apology. We'll get to that in a bit. Frank, take it away.
Thanks, Pat. Welcome to the Pat Oates Show, POS, with co-hosts Pat Oates and Bobby Tamburo. Tonight's guest, we got some special guests tonight. We got from the Bucked Up Podcast, comedian Sam Buck, and from All Laws, All Problems, and the Great Brandino, Brandon Smith.
That doesn't work, Frank. If you're supposed to refer to him as the Great Brandino, you don't say his real name. That's the point of being referred to as something else.
You know, there's always next week I'll get it correct.
You're 80. There's no next week for you. You did well, though. You did well. You got Sam's right. That's all that matters.
Well, Sam's an easy name.
Sorry. So is Great Brandino.
I feel like that'd be a bigger problem.
Name.
The Great Brandino.
Brandino. It's his name with an O.
I know.
It's all it was. How'd you think of that one, Brandon?
I was actually given the name by two different people, which is kind of hilarious. So I figured I'm going to stick with it. And it's going to work into my new stuff with tarot and, being able to I don't know.
Well, I get the Brandino part, but I take it easy on the Great.
Well, yeah, that's part of the joke. It's it's because I'm not, but I am. Yeah, but as long as I think I'm great.
The mediocre Brandino, that'd be an awesome magician name.
Just another Brandino.
The mediocre Brandino.
If you came out with a sombrero too, it made it even work. Wait, is he Spanish or what? It's for tarot you're doing? Oh, because you did that live show. How did that go?
It went really well, actually.
You did tarot readings in a bar, which you think open mics are bad in a bar, but tarot. I couldn't imagine being sad at a bar alone drinking and then going, "Let me see this guy over here tell me my future." You already know it's dismal.
You don't need the tarot cards. I'll tell everyone in that bar their future.
It's like, you have the gout. You're a loser. I fucked your wife. Those were the cards.
It was very reminiscent of an open mic too. Some of my friends came, and then there was some other people just there because it was outdoor at the place. And so I was talking to probably about 10 people, and some of the people didn't know what was going on or looking at me. And I'm like, "Oh, don't feel bad." I'm like, "I performed for way less than this." I'm like, "This is nothing, guys."
That must have made him feel better.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh yeah."
Don't worry, you're a good crowd.
You guys are amazing.
So Sam, you've never read tarot cards in a bar?
Never. No. I've had girls be like, "Oh, let me read your cards." I'll be like, "No fucking, I don't know. I don't want to know that shit."
No,
I don't blame you.
No.
You don't.
No way. Nah. If a girl reads tarot cards, I don't know about you. I don't know what it says about guys, but I feel like every girl that reads tarot cards has dirty ass feet. I feel like
I would think that's true. And Brandon does garden, so his feet are probably not clean.
I was just ready for you to explain which book of the Torah tarot card reading violated. That's what I was expecting from you, Sam, there.
Surprisingly, I'm not Jewish. I'm sorry to let you down.
I'm going to need some evidence of that, buddy.
I can't wait till I go bald, and then no one's going to think I'm Jewish again.
Let me tell you, it doesn't work. As a bald guy with a shaggy beard, they have these Jew wagons where they try to get you mitzvahs. And every time I walk by, they're like, "Brother, come on in." And I'm like, "No."
A Jew wagon, they upgraded from the train?
Yeah. They did. What the gas?
They doing the wagon to mitzvah you, by the way.
I don't know. It's like it seems like they want to try to get as many people through as quickly as possible. I don't know the Jewish culture. Maybe Sam can enlighten us a little bit, but
are they
I don't know how often
dicks
you
there,
have
like
to get
tips?
mitzvahed.
Yeah,
maybe it's like Express Church. That'd be kind of sick.
There's just
like
a little bowl of calamari at the end.
I wonder if older Jews laugh at the younger, like, a wagon. Like in my day, we had trains and showers and all the fun stuff. You get a wagon, you losers.
Well, I feel like all my friends who are Jewish, they do that thing, the pilgrimage thing where they just go to Israel and fuck. Yeah. That's all they do.
Well, they do it once.
I wish I was Jewish. You just get a paid trip to fuck.
They do have to make up some numbers, if you know what I'm saying, to overcome a bit of a deficit.
Yeah, they do.
Wait, so
Whoa,
I thought that pilgrimage,
you want to bring that up.
You're not pulling out on the pilgrimage?
No, you got to dump loads. They have a special person in each room making sure.
Yeah, because they got to
Gives
save
you
money on
different
the
cards
condom.
like a soccer game. Like,
Yeah.
like, oh, that's a yellow card. You didn't finish inside. You got one more of those and you're out of here.
We're sending you right back to Missouri.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
boy.
luck getting
Imagine
pussy
being
there.
Jewish in Missouri.
Oh, jeez.
That's got to be the worst. I mean, unless you're in St. Louis, like that's a city, but everywhere else, it just got to be. They don't understand what you are.
No.
No, that be you're just lost, waiting for 39 others to bring you through. Isn't that how Jews travel in 40s?
I went to an international high school, so there were Asian kids who would come and they had never seen like a white person in person before like their first day of school.
And they see you and go, Woody Allen, this is crazy. Are you going to fuck me? Am I your daughter?
I'm like too old. This is high school.
Tall. Woody's tall.
I did that reference so Frank would get something of the jokes. That was it. But Brandon, you know about Jews. Do they go over there and do they blow loads or do they just fuck? They're Mardi Gras?
That's a really I don't know that part, but I do know in the Old Testament, and that which is part of the Torah also allegedly that you can't spill your seed. You got to just go every time inside. You just got to we're going for it. So
You know, a lady didn't write that book. Just blow it in me all the time. Rebecca,
Woman who sent you
316.
that background probably did.
yeah, if a lady wrote it, it'd be like, don't put it in her hair.
If a Jewish woman wrote it, it'd be even longer. They don't shut the fuck up.
They'd still be writing it. We'd be waiting like with Game of Thrones on the final book of the Bible. Come on, lady.
It's my new book, Chicken Come for the Soul.
It is kind of weird that like all the religious texts have just stopped. Like the last entries to the Bible were from like 1000 AD, and it's like, nah, we learned everything we need to learn about Christianity. It's good, guys.
Well, unless
Have
you're
at
L. Ron Hubbard.
There's enough fucking nerds who say what fucking Hogwarts class they are that I feel like that's the new religion.
It could be. Comic books are kind of the new religion.
Yeah.
I think
Are
woke's
you
the new
Marvel or
religion.
we need to have like a crusade between Marvel and DC fans, like
it's
a
coming.
religious crusade.
That'd be great. I mean, a lot of those characters are based on, because I have a lot of knowledge in that area, the mythological and even religious figures. Like, look at Thor; he's an actual Norse god. So a lot of
Great
those are set
Brandino,
on that. So
everything
it is going
you
to be.
say makes you more terrifying. Like for starters, it looks like right now you just got done giving a bunch of your followers LSD and told them to go kill the Bates family, and then you're like, oh, by the way, I have great connections with the underworld via my tarot card reading. Oh, I've got all this knowledge of ancient Norse mythology. I am just terrified of you, sir. I'm not going to make fun of you once during this podcast.
Oh, please make fun of me. Making fun of me is great. I love to.
Fair enough. You said 2 people gave you the nickname. What base were you at with those gentlemen when they called you the Great Bandino?
No, I wish I was at a base. It was
So
over
you mean
the
like
internet.
third base where you getting butt fucked?
That's like fifth base.
I don't know the basis for gay men.
I don't either
That
know
was
the
actually
butt
a
fake
test
base either.
to see if you knew the bases, Brandon.
By the way, butt fuck base sounds like the name of could be the name of the podcast or something.
Or the new gay army.
it's my punk band.
Or just the normal army, could it be? From what I've heard. Anyway.
Don't ask, please tell.
Yeah.
At butt fuck base. Frank, remember when you were in the military and it was just okay to be gay and quiet?
It was, oh God, you didn't say anything.
You just were gay.
You just
You just
You
took
say
it like a
you,
man.
you say we.
what are you doing? We're out of there.
Oh, and Frank and Brandon, happy Marines Day, by the way.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah, hoorah. Happy
Semper
Marine
Fi,
Corps Day.
baby.
Semper
Semper
Fi, that's
Fi.
right.
Look at me
Yeah.
knowing shit.
Yeah. Hey, Brandino, I have to admit, the more you talk, the more I look at that, whatever that is, that rag behind you. It looks like a list. It looks like photos of all your victims that are blurred out.
Shh.
I think it's just his curtains. Why'd you call them rags?
I don't know what that
It's
is.
rags.
It was just curtains. They're not bad curtains. I mean, he's got Brady Bunch walls, but they got nice
Those are
curtains.
curtains.
Well, it's actually a towel because I'm in the basement and there's a big
Oh,
glare off
it
the
is
window.
rags.
So
My bad.
it's rags.
The great rag Dino.
The Great Bandino would not have that. over
Not the
those
Bandino, the
I know, how dare
Brandino.
you. It's the
Brandino.
mediocre Brandino.
But if you go Bandino, you could do like bandanas.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Great
Merch.
Mandingo.
Merch.
You should go with Great Mandingo, and they'll think you're a giant black guy.
You should not go with that one. That
Yeah.
one's not
Yeah.
going to give you the results
Great
you're
advice.
expecting.
Every tarot reading is just dick in your future.
That's it.
It's an avalanche of dicks.
It's just one card's got a giant cock and one's got the Amistad on it. You're like, this is a weird reading. I don't know what to do here.
Lady, you got the tower card. What's this? It's you don't want to know. Just get some
there's
lube.
there's three cards, one for each hole. You get to pick.
This card says fifth base.
Come here, pretty boy. You don't need those cards to tell your future. And then he just points to his big dick.
This card says grab your ankles. Oh.
Oh boy.
I hope somewhere there's like a 5-foot like accountant who's got the word Mandingo written on his car. like, he's just like, that's his way of just saying, no, I swear to God, it's huge. Like a Mandingo.
My friend is a felon and he works at this gym that only hires felons. And there's all these like hot white girls who fucking go there. And it's definitely just a fetish thing. Like they definitely just want to get railed out by these felons.
What's the name of the gym that hires convicts?
I don't even know. It's someplace in New York.
I like that though. I like that idea. Like usually as a manager, you're going through the whole thing and you're like, nope, sorry, your test came back. You have a criminal record. They're like, no, thank God. You stabbed the guy. Oh, you can work the fucking treadmill. That's cool.
You killed a
Cool.
guy with the gym equipment, you're hired.
Yeah, you can be. Oh, you're a rapist. You can be near the women's locker room. That's
The towel boy.
I think Mark Twain could have named that place with one of his characters.
what would he have named it, Brandon?
Huck
I'm
Finn.
done with that. I'm just
Huck Fins.
I'm done with
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Brandon just gave up the N-word. Good for you. I'm proud of you.
I didn't give it up, but I'm just that was too easy. I just
Frank, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, you still alive?
I'm still alive. I'm still functioning.
Talkative.
You know, had some my usual Wednesday, had some tests done. You know,
Wait, that's a usual Wednesday?
He's
usual
80.
Wednesday. Yeah, you see, I still got the wristband on every Wednesday.
Are you still crazy?
No, that's Tuesdays.
Okay.
I do
Oh my God,
really
are
look
you doing your
forward.
bit
What?
on Tuesday? 'Cause I hear your bit twice a month.
Right.
On Tuesdays, I do this shit. On Wednesdays, I do some other shit.
No, I do have that in it. That's true.
I know
Yeah.
you do. I hear your jokes constantly.
Yeah, Monday and Wednesday night at 6.
Yes. Good.
I
Bobby,
see
you got any
Doc
tests
Eddie.
done?
No, I do like the idea though of one day Frank's going to be like, I don't have a story to tell of my own, but I'd like to tell this one. There's this 80-year-old in a hospital who they say needs to stay here, but he thinks he should be home free. What should he do, guys? And then he reveals the green screen. It's him, and he's got the doctor at knife point. He's like, never take, Marie never forgets.
Yeah, I love it.
I thought you were gonna say just him reading his last will and testament, and then we decide who the piece of shit is in his will and testament.
I like that. I
I
won't be
enjoy
around.
that too.
Yeah, I
Can
won't be
we
around.
do a live podcast from your funeral?
I would hope so. I mean,
You
are you
think, you
serious?
think Nancy's cool with that?
Oh, she's cool with that. Yeah, and anything. Just get him out of here.
What if we get?
You gotta
Aaron
have the
Berg-
woman at the funeral just flashing her tits live for the whole
Oh,
thing.
Smokey, she'll come.
Smokey
we'll
would
fly her
probably
in.
do that. Yeah, she'd probably do that. She's a G. What if we get Aaron Berg to do your mouth? Have you seen like he does like what Conan used to do, where he makes people talk and he can be you
Right.
one last time?
He does it with Gino's dad all the time. It's not flattering,
Yeah.
though, just so you know.
But we'll be like, hey, the only thing you have to do here is tell a real long story that doesn't really make sense.
Well, that's any given Wednesday.
Hey, Bobby, you got to get Frank on in hot water before that happens, or Aaron will charge us.
Yeah,
If he at least meets him, then he might not charge us.
that's fair.
We're-
That is
We're
fair.
not, we're not paying for that. Frank, since I know
Yes.
it's Wednesday and it's late,
Probably
I'm gonna
get
let you
figs
tell your
doing
story
Berg,
first.
Doing Frank.
Okay, I'm going to revisit a story we did a long time ago. As everybody knows or don't know, I'm going to educate you that in the 70s and the 80s, I hooked up with Alan Abel, a master prankster, and we did pranks on the national stage. It was a time where you could get away with a lot, which you can't do now. And one of the characters that we developed was Prince Amir Assad. And that's me in the background being interviewed on USA Network for playing in a Pro-Am tennis tournament that was on television. And then I made a considerable donation to the American Red Cross. Behind the scenes, I was hired by the promoters to do comedy, to break up the tennis that was being played by bad players. And so that was our function. We went there, and that afternoon we gave a press conference to the news stating that I'm Prince Amir Assad from Saudi Arabia, a wealthy Arab. I'm going to donate $5 million to the American Red Cross. And the next day I went on center court and I played against Vijay Amatrash and two other people. And
Vijay Amatrash?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Who's a big movie producer now. And yeah, he was, in fact, he was in the top 10 then. But anyway, unbeknownst to us, USA Network was there, and they were
the USA Network.
Yeah, the USA Network, and that they filmed it and that they televised it prime time, and and Prince Amir Assad was the centerpiece of the show, and so they interviewed me and they had a lot of good quips about it. And everybody had a good time. Now, people really believed, even though I joked around during the match, that I was this wealthy Arab, little eccentric, but a wealthy Arab. And afterwards, I met all the celebrities that were partaking in it. And John McEnroe's father was there. And he kissed. I used to wear a ruby ring on my pinky, and when somebody would give me their hand to shake, I would put my hand in front of them with the ruby ring. If they kissed the ring, I knew I had them. And so McEnroe's father, a lawyer, kisses the ring, and he says, "I would love to have you at our place, and you could play with John and Patrick." I said, "That would be lovely."
The McEnroes?
Yeah, the McEnroes. And
The
so
ruby ring.
And the ruby ring. And so at the end of it, I am outside signing autographs. I got my burnous, that's the burnous, the hat. I got the hat off. I'm drinking a beer with Penny Marshall.
Never mind.
Yes, Penny Marshall. And so what happens is that the promoter comes up and he says, "Could you give a lift back?" Because I was the only one that had a limo. He says, "Could you give a lift back to the hotel for Penny Marshall?" I said, "Sure." So we get into the limo and she looks at me and she says, "Who the fuck are you?" Now, I expected that because I was drinking a beer. The burnous was off.
And I expected that because you've already told the story before, but go ahead.
Right. You knew it. And the three people that listened to it the first time I told it.
How dare you?
Okay. So now we got a vast audience and we're exposing all this wonderful gems of the story.
And all these young people must be like, wow, Penny Marshall, the woman I love.
Yeah. Anyway, so we want to know who the piece of shit in this story is.
You.
Well, that's one option. Is it Prince Amir Assad, also known as Frank Mergallo, for doing this charade? Is it the promoter who took a benefit for the Red Cross and made a joke out of it by hiring me? Is it John McEnroe's father for thinking he saw dollar signs on me and that he wanted to make some money off me? Because that's what they look. When they looked at me, they would see dollar signs and they try to figure out how to get into my pocket. And Alan Abel.
You almost said Yvonne Lendl.
I almost said Yvonne. That's another story. Yeah. But
great.
Well, I never told that story. I never told that story.
Yeah, okay, we don't need tennis every week.
No, tennis is not, in favor right now. So I limit the tennis stories.
Yeah, just drop one name at a time, like BJ Armstrong, whatever his name was.
Right, BJ Amatrash. He came over to me.
The BJ Armstrong?
The BJ Amatrash gives me his card. He's got a movie production company. He wanted to know if we could meet and I could invest in his film project.
VJ's initials, right? It's short for vagina.
We never got that. I never followed up.
Stretch.
I never followed up. I don't know what to tell you, but I never followed up. But what happened to him? He became a big movie producer. He produced one of the. Yes, he did.
A big
he
one?
ate so much. He was like 500 pounds. He was a huge.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no one's heard of VJ Armistretch.
You mean vagina Armistretch?
Yeah,
I know that.
VJ Vagina Armistretch.
You fooled me with that. I was like, this guy must be big. Pat's cushion.
Oh, you people are so limited.
He made Airbud 3.
And Beethoven
Big
4.
money maker.
The
It was
tennis
a
one.
big money maker.
All right,
Frank,
get to
did
your
you
piece of
leverage?
shit.
I got one quick question. Did you
What?
leverage any of this fake stardom to get oral sex?
Never.
No.
Every
he always
story ends
fails.
with the
I-
starlet
I-
wanting to get
I
him
I have
oral
a question.
sex.
Did you
Never-
darken your skin at all for this? Because we should not be talking about it if you did.
No, he never did. He was
No.
just naturally tan.
No. This is in the summertime. I got a tan, and my beard was dark. I had sunglasses on, and I spoke like an educated Middle Eastern that was educated at Harvard.
All right, Brandon, why don't you go first? Who's the piece of shit in Frank's story?
The Red Cross is a piece of shit fucking story because they're a terrible organization. Listen, it should be. Listen, there's a reason why they're the Red Cross. All right, guys, like it's not
Period
what you
blood.
think. They're not doing what you think. So yeah, they're the pieces of shit in the
What are they
story
not doing?
because, huh?
What are they not doing?
What are they not doing? Well, I'm sure there's people who do good things in their name and it's done, but at the end of the day, it's just a lot of these charities. If you look into them, I'm not going to make claims, but if you look into them, you can see for yourself that's not what it seems, and it's just like a money laundering scheme. Any form of altruism that I've seen from people who are rich and then they try to like show that they're philanthropists, it's to cover some dirty shit that they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but most people that use or talk about a cross are doing bad things.
Yeah. A lot
Remember the
of
Jews earlier?
You have heard from the Great Brandino.
Oh, the Great Brandino voice.
I'm
I like
clipping
Frank
that.
for stepping it up. That was way better than his story. Sam, who's the piece of shit in Frank's story?
The audience members that were there to watch amateur tennis. Who watches shitty tennis? I don't even want to watch good tennis.
And how much money was a ticket? Because it was a fundraiser, right?
Yeah. I had 10,000 people there. I don't know.
I'm guessing it was a hefty back
That's
then. Like
10,000
New York fucking
pieces
assholes.
of
of shit in my mind.
Yeah.
10,000 POSs.
That's way too much. Like 4 people. There should have been more people at Brandon's Great Brandino thing than there was at your tennis thing.
Yeah, that's what you should do. Start doing tarot readings at tennis matches.
tarot tennis. That's brilliant.
Tarot tennis, the Great
I could use 2
Brandino.
crosses.
Please don't make that happen. Bobby?
It's me. Because you messaged me and said, Frank already told this story.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, but he said he did, though. And then you said, I know, but why? And I said, he'll definitely add more details. And then you didn't.
No.
You even added less details and just told the same story. So it's me for thinking, Frank's got a plan here.
Because remember in the first one, there was more Penny Marshall. There was more to the
That's
Penny
right.
Marshall thing.
Yeah.
I was waiting
Really
for that.
about Penny Marshall.
Wait, yeah, you never said she got in the limo with you and she
And called him
"Who
an
the fuck
asshole."
Are you?
Right.
And then you just sat in
All
silence.
right, I will
Yep.
backtrack and give you a little more Penny Marshall.
Oh, fuck.
Nope, we're good. Pat, who's the piece of shit?
You. for now, giving up that message we were going back and forth. Everyone thought we were doing research. No, I'm kidding. I even said I'm doing the same joke because Frank, I did the VJ Armistretch every time the last time you told this story, and I thought you'd catch on, but you did not. And I just kept doing the.
I mean, I'm going to remember 12 months ago. I don't even remember yesterday. Give me
You
a
can't
break.
even catch on to herpes.
the piece of shit in this is once again Alan Abel, and I hate to do this. R.I.P. Alan Abel. But all I'm learning lately is that he just used you like a stooge. Because in these stories, he's never it. He's this master prankman, but he found his dumb little muse. You're his clay pot and he's Patrick Swayze, and he just forms you into shit to get you in trouble. Never in a story do we hear Alan Abel is dressed like a fucking terrorist, or Alan Abel was yelling at Penny Marshall, or Alan Abel was getting hand jobs with VJ Armistretch. Never. It's always you, the one who got caught running around the Super Bowl, the one who gets arrested all the time, the one who has the FBI chasing him. He's the mastermind, and you're just the bitch bitch. And it's Alan for doing that to you because you were just so a wide-eyed, hungry little guy wanting to please your master. Fuck him. I know he's a wonderful guy, and I'm sorry he died, but he ruined your life.
No, he's a fucking asshole.
Fuck
and
him.
thank you for bringing it up.
I'm doing
I'm
it.
telling you, I am really pissed now.
You know what? Alan's not so able anymore because he's dead.
he
How about
is.
that? You like that shit?
Oh, man.
Shots fired.
Don't be sad though, Frank. He's probably using Sam for practical jokes and having right now.
Oh my God! Did you just go there?
Oh.
For you that don't know, that's Frank's father-in-law who just passed away like a month ago.
That was a touching sentiment. You don't think that's a
What?
beautiful sentiment,
You
Frank?
think Sam's gonna hang out with Alan Abel? He doesn't hang out with fucking
No, he's
fancy
going
fruits that
viral
do
on
pranks.
Afterlife TikTok.
Oh, Frank, yeah,
Ooh.
because Sam had a good TikTok.
Yeah,
You guys had the best TikTok.
Yep, just watching a guy thought he was dead golfing.
that's right. 900,000 views.
Yeah, almost as many as his obituary.
That's
Yeah. So Frank, who do you think the piece of shit is in your story?
Well, I mean, now you make me think, which I
Sorry.
had rosy covered glasses and I colored glasses. I was looking through.
Colored glasses.
I was the
That's-
center of the stage. The police, the FBI, the CIA, the State Department, they ran to me and tackled me, not Alan. So I thought I was the center of attraction.
No,
I
you were the
thought I was the
stooge. You were the
man.
You're
distraction.
the stooge.
I was the fucking stooge.
Stooge.
Yeah.
Unfucking believable.
The great
You
Stooge
just
Dino.
realized this now?
Yeah. His whole life he didn't think he was. He thought he was the guy, and he's the great stooge.
I
Dino.
thought I was
like
the guy. I was the man. I was the man
Yeah.
for all those
Stooge.
years.
Just like
I wasn't.
yeah.
I was the goddamn stooge in the corner
fucking
when
stooge.
people were laughing at me.
Yep. Still
Thanks,
are.
Pat.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But not to me. You're not a stooge now.
No, what am I? I'm worse than a stooge.
You're an announcer.
Ooh.
You're not even good at that.
No. I'm gonna nail it next week. If you send me the material 3 days before, I'll nail it.
You had Sam's in plenty of time. I didn't know
You
about
got
the
mine
great
perfectly.
Oh, I
Pacino.
didn't screw up Sam. I didn't screw up Sam.
You said it kind of like you were gonna say fucked up, and then you messed up
How do you know what I was thinking?
because you went
I thought I covered that up.
no. Like from the fucked up podcast, there's Sam Fuck. There he is. And the great Chico's over here.
Yeah.
Great Chico is also a name for fifth
Yeah,
grade.
all his victims are behind him. Look at that. I mean, that's
They're not.
fucking-
Why do you think that's that? It looks like Minecraft.
How dare you, sir? My Marine Corps honorable discharge is sitting right there.
Right behind your cat scratch post.
Okay, I got a new camera and it's a wider angle. I'm like, ooh, you can see my things now.
Yeah.
What is that in front of you? Is that a semi-automatic rifle?
Oh, it's my mic stand.
Oh, I was like, you really look like. It's
This
got a little touch
like
to it.
the prelims to storming the Capitol. All five of us right now.
Oh, if you had a Viking helmet on, that would rule. Right? Bobby,
Yeah.
I'd like to
Yeah.
bring up the story that we talked about yesterday that we had to bring up from last week. Do you have that picture you can share? Or do you need me to do
I
it?
sent it to you, buddy.
I know, but I don't. My phone's like.
I don't know if I can share, but I'll just tell the story I told last night. No biggie. So basically, I pitched a movie for Disney
Oh, not that
Channel
one.
after my
All right, I'll find
success
the
with
story. You're gonna do that thing.
with my success
right.
with
Hold on, hold on.
Nickelodeon.
Bobby,
Excuse
I was
me.
thrown off. You're gonna-
Excuse me 1 second. Excuse me 1 second.
Frank.
You're ragging on me for telling a story I told a year ago. This Jaboot is telling a story from you last night.
No, he's not, asshole. It's a game that he does. Now you ruined it.
Yeah,
A
you
game.
all just I had it all under control. Pat, I was gonna tell this story while I silently pulled up the picture. It was gonna be seamless. I didn't need to know you were gonna do it. I got it under control, buddy. I almost
was
told
gonna
you,
do it
Frank,
for you.
You're not here half the time. Don't worry. We got it under control, buddy.
I was
It's
gonna
all
pull
good.
it for you. I want to make sure you were telling the story from yesterday, so I can do that. You don't have to worry about it. But Frank,
No, I got
who
it
shows
all
up
under
whenever the
control.
fuck he wants to, because he's too busy at US Opens 30 years ago, when it was okay to be raising. Him and Bill Cosby did whatever they wanted in the 70s and 80s. That's fun. Go ahead, Bobby. Bobby, I'll find the story. You do you.
No, I got it ready to go, buddy. So yesterday we described how I had success with shows with Nickelodeon, and Disney Channel actually hit me up to pitch a Disney Channel original movie, and they greenlit it, and like it's already getting rave reviews. Basically, what it is Gene Hackman coaches a transgendered football team, male to female transgender football team, and they win the school's first state championship, and then he comes in at the end and he goes, I'm going to retire on top because I'm Gene Hackman. And they're like, yeah, that's great, Gene. And because of the success it's already had, they've actually hit me up for a second picture. And it starts with Gene getting off the phone, and then it's his buddy calling him, and he's like, oh, fuck. And he goes to what can only be described as like a special needs school. And they're like, we need a football team. And he is
Only
in
be
charge of
described as that. That'd be the greatest brochure of all time.
he has to like assign positions to particular diseases and afflictions, like, and use their strengths rather than their weaknesses, and any ideas, like, Brandon, who would you cast as the lineman, like from a special needs school? Who do you think would be good lineman?
I would say Channing Tatum.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay.
I think he'd play a good retard.
Yeah, especially if he played it
Okay.
like he did the like character in Hateful Eight. That's kind of like a strong target.
Gotcha. Sam, what were you thinking? Wide receivers, special teams.
Special teams.
teams.
That's the name of the movie, by the way. Special
Yeah.
teams.
Of
Special
course.
teams is the name of the movie.
It's so simple but so effective. Fuck off. We didn't think of
Who's
that
that
yesterday
kid
at
with
all.
no teeth from Stranger Things?
Yo, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I like it. Frank, what do you got for me?
I like in that role Tarantino, the director. I think he'll be really good out there like this.
Yes.
you know?
He is old. Yeah. I could see that. Yeah. Fair enough. Pat?
Well,
You
there's no
wanna-
women yet, and I think we have to go with Juliette Lewis. She's the greatest retarded actress of all times, so we got to get her in. And I also think the name of the school should be Harvard instead of retarded. You say Harvard, put a re in front of it.
Nice. And I was thinking Pooh Loren, or what was her name? That bitch's name from yesterday?
Roo Powell?
Roo Powell should be the head
No, we
cheerleader.
can't make fun of
Paul?
Roo Powell.
I think Roo Powell should be head cheerleader. All right, Pat, you want to tell
Wait,
what happened yesterday?
Are you talking about RuPaul or
No,
is
we are not
RuPaul
talking about
one?
RuPaul. And
Are
Bob
you talking
did a
about
wonderful job to segue into this story. Okay, 2 weeks ago, we did a POS story where we talked about a show coming up on the Discovery Plus channel, and it's called Underage Undercover. And it's a woman from Connecticut named Roo Powell, ROOPOWEL. And she's doing I called it a reverse Chris Hansen. Then I found out that's not the right way to say it because that means that they would be fucking the pedophiles. But it's not it's a woman who's 37, but she pretends she's 15 to catch asshole pedophiles was being Brandon's podcast. Anyway, old
Only the
pedophiles.
asshole ones, not the ones that are kind of cool.
Not the cool ones because they could get through that shit. And also, they wouldn't be turned on by someone who looks 37. Anyway, they know what's up. So she has this show she's doing. We read about it in the New York Post. We talked about it. We made jokes about the cop. That's the guy that works with her. The fact that she had built a studio that looks like a 15-year-old's bedroom in her house. She has 2 other kids. We kind of went hard on it. We're a comedy show, and we made fun of the idea of somebody doing that. When I shared it, like I said before, I don't always, like, if you guys are on the show, I'll tag you guys in it because you're guests on the show. But if I talk about somebody on the show, like we talked about Gene Hackman, I might do hashtag Gene Hackman, but I'm not going to go at Gene Hackman. So if he searches it, he can find it. I'm not hiding from it, but I'm not going to tag him in hopes that he'll repost it. I think that's a little fucked up. So, but I always make sure they know. So I hashtag this person, Roo Powell, and the name of the show. Well, I guess she searches her hashtags because she found it and she responded. She responded kindly, but she said she didn't watch it yet, but she said, ooh, what was the verdict? Because she learned that we say who's the piece of shit in shows. And I'm like, oh, we're a bunch of morons doing a comedy podcast and we weren't kind to you, but my apologies. Good luck in whatever you're doing. You're doing great things for people, whatever. And then she wrote back, ouch. As a person who already has, sensitive feelings, I've been dealing with a lot, I guess I'll be taking this out of my queue. So she was like hurt, but not a dick. And I felt bad. So I apologized. And then yesterday we talked about that with Jay Nog and Manny Santiago, and those 2 and Bobby all agreed. that I shouldn't be apologizing. Fuck her. She does have a lair in her house trying to catch pervs, and it's weird that she's 37, dressed like a 15-year-old, and all this shit.
And her replying like that. I already dislike her replying. You were very kind, being like, I'm sorry, her being like,
Yeah.
ouch, like fuck.
That's
her.
very victim-y. You know, I don't like when people get all victim-y.
Which
on me.
Bobby
Like,
brought up. It's weird that she's playing a victim when
Yeah.
on the internet when she's trying to catch people. who are
Not
being
not to
nice on the internet.
steal from Gino Bisconti, but you put all that negative energy out into the universe, it's gonna come back at some point.
Well, so then we talked about it yesterday. So our new podcast went up today, and Bobby put out his own promotion for it. Not one
After you
that I
asked me
was going to put out. I did
you said,
hashtag
"Hey,
the name of the show, but I
put
did
it
not
out."
hashtag her this time. Bobby, if you can share. It's coming up. I saw this about an hour before our podcast, and I was like,
stupid how. You a stupid how. You a stupid how. You a stupid how. You a stupid how. Yeah, you.
now you guys can read it.
Right.
New POS, get it now and find out why this woman is a cunt. Hashtag Roo Powell. That was what I read in my Instagram. And by the way, did not share it through mine, just so you know. I was like, that's a little on the nose. And I asked Bobby, is that really her? Because most of the pictures we saw was her dressed like a 15-year-old. He's like, yep. That's
Wait,
her.
she dresses as a 15-year-old?
Oh, God, yeah.
She doesn't like get like a kid, like a. She actually pretend. I feel like that's.
This
nah.
is a TV show where she's online. She's not like just texting. No. She's meeting them and she's dressed up. She has different wigs and outfits and everything. She got fake braces.
Okay, yeah, nah. I
No.
totally.
Has the prosecution
Bobby,
rested,
I'm with
Your Honor?
you now.
listen, if someone's listening to this and they want an idea of what to do, why don't you pose as somebody? And you talk to these. Well, maybe it's a bad idea, but you talk to these young ladies you're trying to find older men, and then talk to their fucking parents and say, "Hey, what the fuck's going on here?"
Well, their
Instead of
parents
trying
aren't going to fuck them.
What
You know
if-
what? I want to have a show where I just shave my beard, dresses up as a little sailor, and try to meet up with guys pretending to be like 14 years old.
You had
The
me
issue,
at
Sam, is you
Sailor.
couldn't then
Really.
fuck the guys. That would ruin the whole point of the show.
It's called church on Sundays.
I don't wear my nice sailor outfit to church.
So
You know what
who's
she
the
should-
piece of shit in this story? Is it?
Whoa, hang
Oh, go
on.
ahead.
I feel like I should get to present my side of the story here
Okay,
right?
go ahead.
because I don't want to be a piece of
No,
shit.
no, please do, sir.
Maybe instead of dressing up like a 15-year-old, she could dress up as somebody who has a stable relationship with a man so her two young kids could have a father figure in their lives.
Oh, you don't want to be a piece of shit in this?
Ooh, I like that. That's a good answer.
I'm just throwing that out there. Like, I'm not saying that a fatherless kid might have more potential to be taken advantage of by pedophiles, but they certainly don't have less. Just throwing that one out there. Those who
No,
live in
she's
glass
trying to
houses.
bring a man home to be the father. That's the point of the show.
No,
They
she does
are
have.
all older than the kids.
Yeah, that is fair. That is fair. And to be fair, she does have that cop who definitely doesn't want to fuck a 15-year-old who hangs out with her all the time.
Now that cop definitely wants to fuck her.
Oh yeah. I mean, without a doubt. Like, why is he? He's the one that I was saying was a piece of shit, not her. She's trying to help. I think. I don't know.
But as we pointed out, it doesn't really help. Most of these people get off because it's entrapment. It's not really catching pedophiles. It's also just kind of teasing. If you're not like you're putting that idea out there of sexualizing 15-year-olds, if you're a 37-year-old woman showing off your body like you're a 15, like you're making it more prolific, not less. You know what I mean? Sam, you were with me so far. Did I lose you?
I don't know. I think you kind of lost me at the end.
But like the idea of like putting this out there and being like, this is what 15
She doesn't look
should be like.
15.
That's what I'm saying.
she
There's
looks
three
older
of
than
her being 15.
No.
I don't even think the guys are pedophiles. I just don't think they care that she's lying.
That's what we said multiple times. They were just like, all right, ma'am, you're clearly 42, but I'll come give you some dick.
You can
'cause-"
pretend to be 15. I know you're legal. That's what they're
Yeah,
saying.
that's what's happening there. And I think that cop wants to fuck a kid. And he's like, I can't, but I got this lady who will dress up like a kid for me, and she has a layer that I can fuck her in. I
So
think
what's
she's
the
trying to
difference
be
between
nice
dressing
and
up as a
taking advantage.
15-year-old and dressing up as a 14-year-old? Like, why is 15?
Well, but that's our fault because we started this game show months ago called 15 or 19. It was a crave. It was all over the nation, and I think they stole it from us. That must be what it was.
Oh,
What's
so
your
she
show
already knew
called?
the show. She's a fan.
No, she didn't know our show.
She's
Yeah,
probably
she
listening right
probably ripped
now.
off our idea.
I don't know how TV shows always work since mine have always failed, but like I'm pretty sure she had this going for a while. To build a lair, you got to be doing it for
Yeah.
more than a couple weeks.
How long do you think my show was in fucking pre-production?
Why didn't she
with
just
Nickelodeon?
use one of her kids' rooms?
Because they're 3.
What's her show
That's
called?
even that, like this.
No.
That she
I've
should
asked this
Ew,
5
Sam,
times. Can somebody
ew.
just tell me what
Nobody
the name of her
fucks a
goddamn show
3-year-old.
is?
she should pose as a
That's the
3-year-old.
gross age.
Pinky in a bonnet, like laying in the crib, just a 37-year-old woman.
I'm still saying I think she's a hero and she should not be judged. And she's trying to save the world, one pedophile cock at a time.
For the 9th time, Pat, what is the name of her show?
Undercover, underage. What is it?
Okay, so I have a better show. she
Underage,
should do
undercover.
for-
I always confuse
for-
them.
She should do a better show for TLC called Roo in the Loo. And what she does is she goes over to England and explores all the various glory holes she can find. So maybe she can get a little satisfaction in her life and stop being an annoying cunt online.
I don't think she likes to blow people.
Well, that's the beauty of it. She doesn't
If
have
she
to.
was
blow 'em.
doing
She
that,
could use
she
any
wouldn't be
part of
having
her
a
body
show.
and they have no idea. They don't even know it's a woman. Most of them would be pissed if they found out it was a woman behind the glory hole, and that's what really gets her off.
Would they be mad if it was
Fucking
a
people.
boy?
Well, hang on. They want it to be a boy. That's really what glory holes are
What?
designed for. And the beauty of it
Boys
is
know how to suck dick.
the beauty of it is she still gets to fulfill
Did
the
I just
same
ask that?
need of offering something sexual that she is not, that she was doing, pretending she was 15.
To
God
be
damn.
fair, she is pretty hot. If that picture of you calling her a cunt is actually her,
It might not be her. I just kind of Googled her name and pictured.
Yeah,
the
'cause that
picture
lady looked
came up,
black.
So it might just be a different woman.
I think you posted a black lady.
That's even funnier.
Yeah. I think it's better that Sam thought it was RuPaul. I'd watch that show. RuPaul
yeah,
dressing up like a
RuPaul
15-year-old.
pretending to be a 15-year-old. Going
You better work, pedophile. That's way more fun.
Also, who names their kid Roo Powell?
Well, I said that before. It's obviously a nickname. Her real name is Kangaroo Powell.
There's no way she's 15. Anyone thinks she's 15.
This is the picture that bothered everybody yesterday because she has fake braces on.
She looks like she's pretending to be Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her other show, Chink in the Armor. It's another show coming out to Fox this fall.
How old is she really in real life again?
37.
Yeah, there's no way she looks 15. She's delusional. Get out of here.
Well,
Yeah,
she looks
she's
young for
cool.
37.
Yeah.
Not only is
yeah.
that her, that's her Twitter profile picture.
Yeah.
I
But
think
she's
no,
hoping
the
that
one I
the
showed.
first season's out now. I've never seen it, but I guess
No,
it's
I'm
out.
saying the picture I showed that was in question
Yeah.
is her Twitter profile picture. So
But
it's
is that
definitely
her or is that someone pretending to be her?
Why would they use a fake picture of her even if they were pretending to be her?
People pretend to be me, remember? And we had to keep shutting it down.
But they didn't. They would use a real picture of you at least, right?
Oh yeah, but I'm saying like they
So I'm
might
saying
not
it's
have
a real
access.
picture of her regardless.
They might have Googled one wrong RuPaul or Roo Powell,
Oh.
whatever the fuck her name is.
That's really on her Google team, who's should bring her research results up higher, right, Sam?
I
Your-
I
your
think this
people tend to
woman
work in that
is an
industry.
actual insane person. I
So
haven't
should
even
we
watched
have her
this
on?
You 100%.
Yeah. Bobby says no. Bobby's the one who wanted to invite her first.
Would have been good. We can't
Bobby's
do
like, I've
anymore.
already been on her show. Why is she coming on mine?
I'm the season 1 finale.
We couldn't like. She knows she's in for a fight now if we have her on. Like
No,
before,
I
we
will
could've
defend
just
her
been-
honor. And Frank will
Sounds
mess
like
up her,
someone's in love.
her credits.
I'm gonna have to take a pass because I think I met her 2 years ago.
What? Why do you always know these? Why do you know Charlie D'Amelio and her?
Listen, I thought I
It
was
was a
hanging out.
prank.
With
It was
young
all
girl.
a prank.
Wait, you know the RuPaul?
How'd you meet her,
So-
Frank?
Frank thought it was Lawrence Taylor. Long story. Ended in racism.
Yeah.
Do you know her? Because she's from your area.
No.
She actually is from your. She's from your town.
Really?
That's where the show. She's the cop. She's working with is a Norwalk cop, but she's from up there.
Oh. Okay. No, I don't know her.
You know
You
how
need to
like
know.
Some people get really pissed off when they say we should defund the police. They should be forced to watch the entire first season of the show and be like, nope, that's what we're spending money on cops on.
Well, that's why he needs money, because he has to make side dough to do that shit. So if we give them money, they'll stop doing that.
It
So
is
who's the piece of
crazy
shit
that
in
a
this
cop
story?
could be on a show. Doesn't that seem like that should be against the law? That a cop can just be like a side character on a show about pedophiles? Like,
Well, they get to be on Cops.
yeah, that show
That
shouldn't
should be
a
against the
thing either.
law.
Yeah, that show is. I loved that show growing up, but that should not be a show.
No, chasing down white trash and beating them up. Like half the time they weren't doing anything. They're just being trash. Brandon looks like they're about to come into his room.
I gotta go.
Brandon, who's the piece of shit in this story? This
Ah,
layer. Is
that's
it
a-
me? Is it Bobby? Is it Roo Powell? Is it Cops? Who is it?
I think it's the people who are watching the show. You know, fuck you for watching that. Show.
Who the fuck has Discovery Plus anyway? I don't know if anyone's
Wait,
Yeah, that's what I'm
is she
saying.
related to Colin Powell? It was-
Oh, I hope not. That's why he died. He killed himself when he found out that his
Good.
granddaughter was doing that shit.
I so fucking hope she is, though, because then every pedophile's defense is, Your Honor, if we look at her family's history of saying there are things there, they're not right.
What's
okay?
worse, killing children or fucking them? That's
Yeah,
what we
exactly.
Or fucking them to death.
She seems to think I have pornography on my computer. Her grandfather seemed to think there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. I'm just saying, there is a lack of credibility here.
And her uncle Boog Pal played for the Orioles. There you go. That's all our pals. So who's the piece of shit, Brandon?
I think it's the people who watch that show. You know, the producers who thought that'd be a good idea to greenlight that.
Yeah, but
fucking
everyone
show.
watches I mean, remember when COVID first happened? Everybody watched that Tiger guy. I didn't watch it, but like the
I-
world watches bullshit.
Yeah, that doesn't mean they're not pieces of shit, though.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that part. Frank, who's the piece of shit?
The cop. I mean, it has to be the cop. I mean, and
He's
no,
trying to save people.
Yeah, well, if you were a cop, wouldn't you take that gig? It's like,
But-
hell yeah, be
No.
on TV. I'm not saying it's right, but you know, you got to empathize a little.
I mean, there's so many things wrong with that picture. I
oh
mean,
yeah, of course.
I mean, it's so wrong. I mean, that shouldn't even. He's part of it. He's part of the problem.
Well, as Harriet Tubman once said, Frank, if loving that is wrong, I don't want to be right. I think that was Harriet Tubman. Sam, who's the piece of shit?
definitely Roo Powell.
Yes.
Fuck her. Fuck Roo Powell. I hate her.
No, she's a national treasure. They're actually going to take down one of the racists.
If
on
she
Mount
was
Rushmore.
ugly, you would not be defending her. Right
Oh no,
now.
no, I don't even look at. I'm just doing that because I think one of us has to do this. Like I've kept this story going for 3 weeks now. Like I'm obviously not on board, but but as being the good cop, bad cop, Norwalk cop, I'm taking the rule of good cop, and Bobby is doing it as bad cunt.
I feel like she's the type of person where it's like the person who's super religious but secretly gay. She's like one of those teachers who like loves the 14-year-old boys. Like she's
Oh.
definitely.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say she's secretly a guy who fucks kids.
I'm changing my.
No, I'm
vote.
saying, I'm
Change your
saying she
vote?
wants to go to Sunday school.
Frank, you can't change your vote.
I can't now. Now that I've thought about it,
Okay.
it's definitely Discovery Plus for
Why?
putting that piece of shit on
They're
television.
Discovery Plus. They need something to watch.
Come on,
Oh,
Frank. If they
man.
paid you $100,000 and asked you to play tennis in blackface to raise awareness,
wouldn't do
for it,
that.
you'd do it.
I wouldn't
Really?
do it.
You wouldn't do it.
No.
You're about
At
to
this
die.
point, what are they going to do, Frank?
And when I'm
Cancel you?
80, I'm gonna do blackface. I'll be almost right now. I can't because I'm a healthy male and I'm gonna live a long time. But I'm 80. I'm close to dead. By the way, we know how
Yeah.
trends work, Frank.
It would be hard for you to do
I'm
blackface because you'd have to go all the way back.
Yeah, I'll do black everything. If I did blackface, I would do black dick too. You got to do it, right? Just to see. I would do more black
Just
dick.
jump in the La Brea tar pit. Like,
Yeah. If that's her name, whatever the black woman's name I'm dating, La Brea Tarpit. I think she played for Rutgers. Bobby, who's the piece of shit?
It's not the cop because there is the outside possibility that he's been assigned to watch her. They're like, hey, this woman is clearly mentally ill. At some point, she's gonna snap. We need you as close by as possible to make sure you
You gotta
limit the
taser her right in the
casualties.
fucking tits.
Exactly. So it could be that. But it's definitely her. She doesn't really actually stop pedophiles. She actually propagates pedophilia by acting like a promiscuous 15-year-old and putting that image out into the universe. And she's a hypocrite because she got mad at people prying into what she does online and does the exact same fucking
She
thing.
didn't get mad. I give her. I thought she answered it well. Ouch.
Due
That stings.
to
I'm
the-
not gonna watch it.
Due to the negativity. Yeah,
I'm gonna
fuck her.
take it out of my queue.
Yesterday, Mandy was great, and he just goes, "I wonder what's in her queue. Like what stayed."
But
How many shows that are hashtag with her? And Jay Nog had the greatest answer. He goes, I hope the season 1 finale is that a giant guy comes in and then rapes her and the cop.
And the cop.
He just takes them both out. That's like, oh shit, we didn't realize this guy can be tough. That's a bad move. I thought that was a terrible idea. I think she's a hero and a national treasure, and I think that she should be on money. Roo Powell. She's saving kids' hymens and assholes one movie at a time.
I mean, she's definitely not as bad as the people on money. So,
Yeah,
You
no,
think?
not yet.
Do you think the goal is, how they used to have like crossover episodes of like all the DC shows on the CW?
Yeah.
Do you think the final crossover episode of her show is her taking on Roo Powell taking on Roo Paul, the
Ooh.
final pedophile?
A celebrity
the
death
ultimate-
match.
Yeah, it's like she's the ultimate one. It's like, who's gonna win? And Rue walks in and is like, "You're a pedophile," and Rue walks in and is like, "Oh, honey, you came in that makeup." And like just trashes her outfit the whole time.
Next on Undercover Drag Race. That's the name of the show. They combined them both. And that's, if you think about it, they are undercover. There's no one more undercover than a drag queen. They're the original undercovers.
I think it's crazy that cops used to dress up as prostitutes to get people on the street.
Yes, that's the cop I like.
The evolution is now he follows around a woman who wants to be 15. It's the same cop.
The cop who puts on lipstick, who's like, "Oh, this is for overtime. This isn't for me."
That's the cop who used to watch Bosom Buddies to get tips. I was gonna dress up like a dame and wear heels. And have an Adam's apple, and I'll catch people. I'll catch pervs. The piece of shit is not Roo Powell. Roo Powell is a wonderful treasure and she's amazing. The piece of shit are people who don't understand that she's doing God's work.
What would Jesus do? That show.
Jesus probably would fuck a kid
What if it's
because he's
what
gonna
Abe
get
does?
away with it. He's Jesus. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna. If he came
He didn't
back
get
and
away
started
with
fucking
shit. He
kids-
got
imagine that.
crucified.
If
He didn't
Jesus
get away.
Christ came back and just started touching kids, he's like, yeah, that's what my people do. Have you seen the guys who work for me? I taught them to touch kids. It's
It
what
turned-
we do.
They push the rock out of the way. It's just a bunch of infant bones.
Yes. Think about it. WWJ, what would Jesus do? What's it? It's on bracelets. Who wears bracelets? Little kids. It's to
What if
it's to
it's-
tie them down.
What if it's
Tie
what-
'em like little finger cuffs for boys.
I see.
All
the
right, the piece of shit
connection.
is me for
That
thinking that Jesus
connection
would
is
fuck kids.
directly there.
Yeah.
What if instead it was what would Jesus do? And it's just a cholo who's like, "Oh, we got a real bad hombre today, guys. He's trying
What
to
would
touch
Jesus
El
do?
Nino.
Always get another job. That's
He's
I
gonna
would
touch
watch
El
that show.
Nino."
Every day he just mows a lawn. Every day. And then he
even
goes to
during the
his
winter.
abuela's house.
They're
and
like
she
there,
makes
it's
mole.
snowing outside. He's still doing it.
He's always mowing the lawn. He doesn't live where there's snow.
He's the one. He's the one that plays the lineman on that TV show.
Well, I did not know you had a pussy. This is crazy. Transgender. What does that mean? Transgender.
Transgender.
Because he thinks it's spelled with a J. He's not smart. So he just silenced it. He didn't know what to do. Bobby, do you have another game for them?
No, I have a thing though.
Oh,
So I
do your
saw
thing. And then I got one more story
maternity-
and then we'll be done.
I saw a maternity shoot on Facebook, and it was like pregnant woman her husband, right? And they're holding each other in the first picture, and it's like a Christmas like background, like clearly not a real fireplace, but like it's a fireplace and stockings. And the first picture is just like him holding her from behind, like the awkward prom pose. They both kind of got their hands on the baby. And then the second shot, it's the same kind of thing, except he's got his arm around her. And in the corner, you see somebody dressed as the Grinch. And by the end of the photo shoot, like the Grinch is holding the woman too. And it's just like, at what point of dating a woman do you just shoot somebody and be like, I'm not being cucked by the Grinch? Like, and I know these people, so they're from Mississippi. So if you walked into court and just showed that as evidence, there's like a 75% chance you're getting off with jury nullification. And there's like a 60% chance you're getting off and now you're the new sheriff. Because they're like, I don't know if you know, ever since Roo Powell moved to Connecticut, we've had a real pedophile problem. Looks like he took care of one of us today.
It was just Roo Powell dressed up as the Grinch. It's another one of her.
A 15-year-old Grinch.
Like, have you ever been in a situation where you should absolutely put your foot down in a relationship and be like, what the fuck is this, honey?
Yeah.
You know that's not the guy's idea. He's not like, hey, what if we get my buddy Jimmy to dress up in green paint? Like, what would be, have you ever gone across the line, Sam, like for a woman?
Oh, 100%. I would. My first girlfriend, I flew to Indiana for. We had only been dating like 2 months, and she left me for a deaf kid. I'll never do any of that.
Huh?
Please, for the love of God, tell me you boomboxed her to try to get her back.
I
just be
couldn't
hanging-
afford a second flight to Indiana. Are you kidding me?
But it's so worth it, because he'd be like, what? Why do you keep getting distracted? And she'd be like, don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. He's like, I hear.
Why
a
is
weird
he just
vibration."
holding that silent radio?
Oh, that'd be even funnier.
I like that
I
he doesn't
hope he
even know
talks
what a
shit to you,
radio
Sam. He
is.
was like,
What's that?
hey, what does she say when she gets fucked? Because I can't hear her while I'm fucking her.
Better yet, get one of those sign language interpreters to come with you too, so it's just you holding the boombox up, and then her like, so she can like he can know what you're
She
saying.
didn't
too.
even know sign language. She just didn't want to talk to me anymore.
She didn't want to talk to anybody.
Yes.
That's
Listen,
what
if you're
that
not gonna
was.
listen to what I say, I'm just gonna find somebody who can't. At least he has. an
It's
excuse.
hurtful when I told her I wanted to be a comedian. I was like,
She went for the exact opposite. Oh, this guy wants to
Yeah.
share stuff. Let me go find man Helen Keller. Oh God. Yeah, I mean, I think we've all done that, but like, I've never gone to that level. I wouldn't put on costumes. I'd be supportive of someone's dreams, definitely, and I would help how much I can. But there's a point where you're like, I don't know. I would say like, hey, I'll ruin the dream. Like, this is your vision. I don't want to. I'm too creative. I'll try to put my own spin. So keep me out of it. You know what I mean?
I dated a girl who worked for Elizabeth Warren's presidential campaign. I should have put my foot down then.
Yeah, absolutely. Brandon, what about you? You look like you've done some kinky shit for a significant other.
I think that I wouldn't not do that, but I might dress as the Grinch. Maybe that'd be funnier, more playful, or I might entertain that option over letting some other strange guy into the picture. It's like, is this
Yeah.
the real father? What the hell's going on right now? Like,
Yeah.
is he stealing the fatherhood? Like,
Yeah, how did
The
we get
only way-
access to this guy?
The only way I would have found it acceptable is if he then like stole the baby and ran away, and it was like a miscarriage announcement. Like, hey, we knew you thought we were having a baby for Christmas, but
oh
the
yeah.
Grinch.
If that was a miscarriage announcement, they'd be my heroes.
Oh, dude, Grinch abortions would be the new craze.
Grinch portion.
The Grinch shows up and he's just holding like the dead stabbed baby, and he's like, wah,
He comes in with a
there'll be
coat
no
hanger.
joy in Whoville. Grinch abortions, dude. That's a new T-shirt. We're doing that one. He's just
The
dragging
Grinch
a
with the
sack
coat hanger.
of dead babies, and that dog's pulling it. Oh, come on, that's a shirt.
Cindy Loho is no mo.
Frank,
Frank,
how do you feel about
Before
abortion? I'm kidding.
before I ask you, hang on,
How do I feel
No,
about
no,
abortion?
it was a joke. Don't it's
Frank, before you answer this question, you have to have actually hooked up with the other person. It can't just be like I dressed up like a Muslim guy to impress Penny Lane or whatever her fucking name was.
Elaine. It's not. He's not that old. It's not.
So what have you done?
I have no comment about anything that I've done. I mean, you guys.
Oh,
just-
come on, Frank. Tell us.
That's all. It's your whole life is telling us what you've done. You've never done something crazy for a woman because she wanted you to. Not on coke.
Oh well, nothing then.
Or on coke. I want to hear a coke story. Come on, Frank.
No coke stories. That's for another time.
No.
So obviously the Jamaica story. I went to Jamaica for a girl once, but for a different relationship, a girl wanted to go to one of those like Jason's Woods things, and I don't do scary, right? Because you either have a fight or a flight response, and I don't have much of a flight response, and you can't fight like at haunted woods. So you guys are looking at me like you're confused. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, like a scary corn maze, haunted houses, all that shit. So I drive down to meet her, pick her up. I'm like, let's do it. Fuck it, whatever. She starts giggling, and I'm like, what's up? You're not normally a happy person. That would be the opposite of what this entire relationship's been. And she's like, I ate some peanut butter that I thought was just peanut butter, but my friend told me she actually made it into an edible. And I was like, oh, like how much did you eat? Like a spoonful or two, with some crackers? And she's like, no, I ate a jar. So she ate the whole jar of peanut butter, and she was tripping out by the time we got to the Jason's Woods. And I should have been like, nah, we're turning around now. But we went through, and it was just a lot of me pointing at things and being like, I know you're in there. If you come out, I'm swinging, because I couldn't take it. She's just giggling the whole time. And if you haven't been to one of these places, Brandon, I know you look like you've worked at one, but if you haven't been to one of these places, the whole gimmick is if you're scared, they fuck with you more because you're like who they enjoy. If you go through like a tough guy, they're just like, oh, I'm not getting anything out of him. I'm not going to give him much. But like, if you're terrified, they'll chase you out of the building with a chainsaw. And then you pull out a knife, and they're like, you can't do that. And you're like, you have a fucking chainsaw. No, I'm just kidding about that.
Unless you're Jesus.
The way that night ended was I texted my roommate and was like, call me and tell me your girlfriend died. And he was like, what? And I was like, just go with it. And he called me and said his girlfriend passed away. And I was like, I got to go be with Dave. And she bought it because she was high out of her mind. So I got to drop
Was she there for the first phone call where you called him and said, call me back and say my girlfriend died?
I just texted him that. Come on, give me a little credit.
That'd be awesome. All right. The only thing I did like that ever, Bobby, in this one.
Oh, no.
I got
You actually
duped a little
inspired
bit.
this other than the Grinch because of your white knighting for Roo Powell tonight. That was
Right,
the most
besides-
embarrassing thing
besides
I've
my
ever
white knighting
seen
for
a
Roo
man
Powell.
done.
There was a girl I was dating, and she had gotten a job teaching gymnastics to kids at like a YMCA. And she said she told them that she would have like a second instructor there because it was a large class. And she told them that she knew this other gymnast that was also her boyfriend. And I'm like, well, who's this fellow? And then I realized that was me, not a gymnast. So I was like, it's little kids, it's tumbling, whatever. I love this girl. She needs help with something. She got a new job. I was happy for her. Well, once we get there, she takes a phone call from her baby's daddy, who says, I need you to come here, and leaves. And now I, unlicensed, taught gymnastics to 8 kids. It wasn't a big class. She could have done 8 kids. And they were just yelling and screaming. So we just did Rambo rolls. And I called them that because I don't know anything else. So we laid in the ground and just rolled sideways like we were on fire. And I had parents watching me like, is this real? I'm like, well, this is how we all learn. When I was in the Olympics, and I started to lie and told people I was in the Olympics. And then they were like, well, you have a girlfriend. That doesn't make any sense. So I was the straight
They're
one.
like, your voice is way too deep to have smashed.
Yeah,
bats on
and
a
you're like
pommel horse that many
6
times.
feet tall. So it was a weird thing. But she came back at the end and she's like, thanks. But then she quit the job the next week because she didn't like getting up early.
I can't believe she wasn't fired for leaving you in charge.
It's the YMCA. She was getting $25 a month or whatever it is. They didn't give a shit. They just want someone to watch their weird kid. And it was a real
babe.
white town. So it wasn't like we weren't helping like, like it was like helping out like, underprivileged kids. It was like kids from Mystic, Connecticut.
Hey, babe, I took Jessica out of gymnastics class. Well, why'd you do that? They let a crack addict teach the class again.
No, she didn't show up. I was there.
Roo Powell just shows up dressed as a 15-year-old trying to catch you teaching the class.
Watch Roo Powell now post a thing going, and I'm the asshole. You pretend to be a gym teacher to be around boys. Like, God damn it, Roo Powell, you got me again. I would have gotten away with it if you're meddling kids dressed up like adults.
I just pull off the mask and I'm Roo Powell.
That would be great. It was always a Scooby-Doo reveal afterwards. That would
Yeah.
then I'd watch the show. If they pulled off masks, it was just the cop fucking her the whole time.
Yeah, and listen, if you've done enough amphetamines to think that you're now a cop and are catching pedophiles, your head is in the right space. However, you're going about it the wrong way. The best thing you can do to actively prevent pedophiles
Only one way.
is by going to silkcityhotsauce.com. That's right, silkcityhotsauce.com. It's got lots of flavor, no pedophilia. It's
None.
the best hot
There's
sauce you
like
can find.
no pictures of kids on it.
None. No kids whatsoever.
Sauce. Lots of pictures of sauce.
Exactly. And it's delicious sauce.
Locally grown.
Packed with flavor instead of pedophilia.
Yeah. Packed with flavor, not kids' buttholes.
How does it go with 18-year-olds?
Oh, they can have all they want. 19-year-olds are great.
All right.
18-year-olds, they're legal.
But we're gonna
Barely,
judge you.
according to a lot of movies. They're legal. And listen, if you're a pedophile and you're fucking 17-year-olds, that is wrong, but at least you're trying. But Silk City Hot Sauce doesn't feel that way, neither do I. But I'm just saying.
The POS show does not sign off on that sentiment whatsoever.
Roo Powell signs off on that because she's going for 15. That's old. She couldn't pull off 17. Nobody wants that. That's the gross one.
What is the age of consent in Connecticut where you're at? Yeah.
I believe 18. I don't know. I haven't tried.
Okay. Because it'd be funny if it was like 14 and they weren't breaking the law at
It's
all.
not illegal if you don't know the law.
She was just
Is that
cock
the
teasing a
rules?
bunch of 14-year-olds.
I know anal stuff is illegal in Connecticut still because they never changed that law. So you could get arrested for having anal sex. It's just an
I
old
have
law
had
from-
anal sex in Connecticut, so
Yep.
What
so
if you're a kid, right?
if
and
you're gonna
you-
butt fuck, you better get into West Springfield real quick, cross that line, and start fucking butts.
What if you're a kid, right? You're 14 years old and you fall in love with this Instagram influencer and you're messaging her and stuff and you keep trying to get her to invite you over and she won't. And then you find out that your dad is going over to see this girl. And you're like, fuck. And he's like, if you call the cops, like, I'll shoot you. And you're like, all right. And then you find out the next day he's been arrested for pedophilia. Wouldn't that be the greatest swing of emotions you've ever been on?
I mean, the dad sounds like a real jerk. I'm trying to fuck this kid. What are you doing?
I think it would be
I
funnier.
will
if-
shoot you. I will shoot.
I will shoot you if you tell me. That. Okay, Dad. I think the kid has a better
Well,
way.
That
I'm
was a
even
story from
bragging about
yesterday
it.
on Hot Wings.
The dad could have just not told the kid too. He's bragging about it and then threatening to kill the kid.
That,
All right,
what?
you know
That
what?
dad's
That
pretty
was-
baller.
That was a little preposterous. It's a stepdad. And he says, not only am I fucking your mom, I'm going to go fuck that girl you want to fuck too.
Yeah. And now I'm going to shoot you. Here comes my gun. Do, 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 do. I'm going to shoot him. So,
What if a
yeah,
kid? I was gonna say, what if a kid pretended to be an adult? You know, a 15-year-old kid pretends to be an
a
adult to fuck a
mustache on,
15-year-old,
trench coat.
and then he shows up and it's that lady. He's like, "What the hell?"
It's
The
but
double
if
reverse.
you, listen, if that happens, if your dad says he's gonna shoot you because your dad's trying to fuck your girlfriend, give him some Silk City hot sauce. He'll calm down. He'll feel good. He won't want to fuck your girlfriend anymore, even though she's a child, and he maybe won't shoot you.
Eat Silk City. It'll make you not want to fuck kids.
Yeah, you can't. The sauce actually stops your urge to fuck kids and starts your urge for great food. That's their saying that we made up. And our final story of the evening. Here we go. Speaking of kids with their mouths open, here we are on this one right here. Where's my dumb article? This girl only ate chicken nuggets her entire life. That was did I lose the story? I think I did. I hope I did because I don't want to read this story.
What is she, 89 years old?
No, she's a tween. You know what that means, Frank?
No.
Probably
Tween.
follow her on the internet. That's what that means.
You know her from your town. Her whole life she ate nothing but chicken nuggets. It's the only thing she ever ate. She had to go to a hypnotist. She had to go to a psychiatrist. They had to fucking stop her. And then finally now she eats fruit. but her entire life for like 14 fucking years. A tween is what, not teen, so like 12. She never ate anything but fucking chicken nuggets. And now her mom poses with pictures with her, and she holds fruit, and the mom tries to force nuggets on her, and she's like, no, which I don't know why you would do that. If a girl battled disease or whatever.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know why you would take fun photos for it. She obviously has a disorder.
You're just putting 14-year-old pussy in a pedophile's face. Just like
they learned about this disease. They learned about this hypnotist who helps from another guy in England, a boy who would eat nothing but sausage for 14 years, and they got him, weaned him off that, and it's not good for your body. It was really destroying her, and she's healthy now. Who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it a child who likes to eat chicken? Listen, we all love chicken. That's a lot of chicken nuggets in that bowl, by the way. And using a fork, what? Calm down. What are you doing? But you don't use a fork for chicken nuggets. You just
no
fucking
dipping sauce either.
No sauce, just dry, raw dog in those nugs. But that girl's going hard and going home to the paint. By the way, she's actually 37. She dressed up like that to get chicken nugget sponsored. But is it her? Is it the mother? For like, listen, there are many parents out there whose kids have, eating disorder, thing like that. You don't exploit them and put it out there and do a photo shoot like I'm looking at right now. Why is there a photo shoot? This is after it happened, and they're making her put nuggets in her mouth going, remember this? Remember your struggles? Remember when you had the most unhealthy food of all times? Why would you? Is it the hypnotist guy putting his shit out there? Or is it Sausage Boy who really doesn't get the story he needs? Because that's a crazy... Dude, his shit game must have been insane. Nugs are one thing, but it's binding. Just eating straight sausage, your whole fucking like an English sausage, like blood sausage, that's not good. Who's the piece of shit in the story? Frank, you go first.
The mother. I mean, the mother has the opportunity at a very young age to get her off the nuggets.
Yeah.
And she didn't.
Frank, I don't know if you know about addiction, but it's hard.
Blame the mother. What?
Addiction's hard. You can't just quit them cold nugget. It's hard.
No, you got to do something. You got to get them help. I mean, you just don't sit there and
where do you go?
Buy McNuggets for them. You go. I don't know.
First of all, that wasn't McNuggets. That was like some good Weaver shit. They're getting bougie with their nugs. They're spending high end.
No, it's the mother. I mean, it has to be. It's the parent. You're parenting. She wasn't parenting. I mean,
buying her nugs. Maybe she's a single parent. Single parents buy nugs.
It's the mother. She should have took the proper action at an early age to get her off the McNuggets.
This comes from a man who never had children and also ate nuggets.
I don't like either of them.
Oh, children or nuggets.
Or nuggets. Or children.
Yeah, fuck them both. No, don't fuck
Frank
them both.
eats children.
No.
He eats children nuggets. Sorry.
That's why I never became a parent, because I would be bad at it.
You have too many nuggets. Sam, who's the piece of shit in this story?
A photographer who took that picture. That was the worst picture they could have picked to bully. This girl's already getting bullied for her nugget.
Smile more.
And now she's getting bullied for her cross-eyed with the fucking...
Yeah. Could you put 5 in your mouth?
Frank.
Say Pfizer.
Oh, but that is amazing. Yeah, I didn't even think about how like they hired a guy. That was good photos. That wasn't just like their.
To be fair, he was just a top in his free time who had some experience taking pictures of 15-year-olds.
Oh, yeah, he was getting ready for the big gig.
That turns out to be the cinematographer on the show.
Yep, Undercover Under Nuggets. It's a good show. The Great Brandino.
Oh man, this is I think I decided Frank on this one because you can't just let a kid eat nuggets all day. And this is the thing. I haven't met anybody, but I've seen sufficient evidence to lead me to believe that people can actually live off of air. It's called breatharianism. So I'd be like, listen, if you're not gonna, you could either eat this food or become a breatharianist. So here you go.
I'd say you would either eat this food or have Brandon teach you stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Breatharianism. I hate people. Yes. The fact that that's a thing, I hate people. I believe that you learned that, but the fact that someone coined that term is an asshole.
Oh yeah, it's also my excuse for the muzzle now. If anyone ever says anything to me about wearing a mask, which I've never worn a mask, I just like to say that. If somebody says that, now I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'd love to, but I have an exemption because I'm a breatharian. I have to breathe to live.
It's
It's
just
the way
a
I
new
don't eat
term for
food.
suicidal. That's it.
What
I
if
mean,
you're
I
not
still
good at
eat
it? Are you a bad breatharian?
Yes.
Bobby?
You said it best, Pat. Addiction is hard, but a dick is harder. So for me, it's whoever molested this girl every day except for the day she ate chicken McNuggets. That's who the piece of shit in this story is.
First of all, let's be clear. I didn't say that. So for you to say, Pat, you said it best. The second part was all Bobby. All right. By the way, and Bobby, that's a t-shirt.
Addiction is
On the front, addiction is hard. On the back, a dick is harder. And then on the lower back, whoever molested that child to make it eat chicken nuggets. It's a long back. It's a tail. It works out.
It's a long tee, a tall tee.
It's a long tee. Yeah, it's one of those tees that like, a lot of the guys wear when they wear the skinny jeans and the long flowing tees, like it was their dad's shirt, like those kind of things. The piece of shit in this is the girl. No sauce, no nothing. Just going nugs. Come on. There's so many things you can do. There's
the
so
no
many
sauce
other
does
kinds
go
of
back
nugs.
to
You
the
can do
molestation
veggie
theory.
nugs. You could, if you like the form of nug, there's so many things you can do. You can go rice ball. You can do anything. You can stay in nug, but you can branch out. You can get more foods in you. They'd be happy. It's the gateway drug. You take the nug instead of the chicken. You do like a tofu
the gateway
one
nug.
day. You do a cauliflower nug. You switch up. You can do all kinds of nugs. You're eating that every day. They're calling you butt nugget at school. You're automatically butt nugget. That's who you are. That's who you exist as can be. Doesn't matter if you're
Ironically, a butt
it's
nugget
her.
is why
At
you're in
the
this
end of the
position.
day, addiction is hard, but fuck you. You can still spice it up. Crackheads do different crack. They don't always do the same crack. They have different crack. Be like crackheads. Switch it up, little kid.
Yeah.
It's another
Chicken is a gateway nug.
I think you missed it all. I mean, what it is that at 14 years old, you have raging
12.
taste buds. You have raging taste buds. Silk City hot sauce. Use
So glad you
that.
said taste
You'll
buds.
get her off it.
I'm
You'll
happy
get
you
her
went
off
there,
it.
Frank, because when you talked about a young kid's taste buds, I got scared.
No, I think I'm onto something.
They can taste salty, and I know. Sam and the Great Brandino, thank you so much for being on the show. Sam, please tell people where they can see your podcast and check all your stuff out.
Oh yeah, you can find me at Bucked Up Podcast on Instagram or on YouTube. I release.
It's
episodes
growing like
every-
crazy, man. Your podcast is blowing up like nuts.
Oh, thank you very much. It's cool. It's cool seeing it grow. So I appreciate that. And yeah, it's on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Bucked
We'll let
Up
people know
Podcast.
what it's about. What you talk about?
Oh, it's a self-help podcast where I interview rappers and comedians about self-help and hallucinogens and shit like that.
Have you guys talked anything about Travis Scott?
Not yet.
I'm guessing that's going to come up because that's going to be weird on a lot of young performers trying to deal with that in life. And that's going to be a weird fucking thing.
Yeah, I
You
know.
invite
It's
Brandon. I bet he's got some great theories on the Travis Scott situation.
I bet you Brandon doesn't even know what Travis Scott is.
I have
The
no
piece
idea
of
what
shit
you're
are
talking
the
about.
He has no
parents.
idea. Even I know. Even I
Brandon,
know.
Do yourself a favor and
Frank
look it up,
knows.
buddy.
He's the
Lots
black
of
guy on TV.
occult
I
symmetry.
saw something about a concert and people died. I know it's probably fake, allegedly.
Hey,
Sorry.
No, they're dead.
There's a lot of theories though.
Have you
about
seen the bodies?
Satanism.
Yeah, they've shown him on the news. It's fucked up. There's
Oh, they
video.
showed him on the news, did they? Okay.
Brandon, they got it was you've seen concerts like that. It was a mosh pit gone wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No, I
it wasn't
know,
like
I
that
just-
kind of thing. Yeah, they got stopped.
Or was it a satanic ritual? And that's for you to decide, Brandon, because there's a lot of evidence that he was summoning an occult ritual, upside down cross, portal to hell, 8 bodies sacrificed. A lot of imagery in there.
He's
I'm
a
not doing justice.
moshitarian, Bobby. That's what he does.
I don't know if you're aware, but there's a giant sacrifice going on in the entire society right now. So yeah, I'd be down for this. See that?
Yeah, I'd check it out.
No, I would be on
Giant
board. I'm
sacrifice.
sure
Do you mean like
that's
one
part
fat person sacrificing their virginity, or do you mean like everybody's dying?
of it. Exactly.
Nice. Brandon, where can
Yes.
people see all your wonderful things?
My website, I have a bunch of them, but if you go to morelawsmoreproblems.com, you could get all my stuff there. I started a new show. We're in the 12th episode, but it's actually labeled episode number 6. It's called the Oversharon Show. Yeah, because you do like a 0.2 and a 0.2, whatever. So we have a bunch of episodes, but it's we're labeling it number 6. It's coming out Thursday, and we're gonna
Wait,
be talking
over
about
Sharon because her name is Sharon, right?
yeah, her name is Sharon, and she talks a bunch, and so do I. So we call it that. And you can find that on YouTube at the Brandon Bonanza, on the Brandon Bonanza channel on YouTube. But just comment under here, and I'll find you, and I'll give you the channel. But we're gonna be talking about sex and human behavior. And we basically talk about how we think like most adults are just children in grown adult bodies running around, raising more children in grown adult bodies. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
Guess who those adults are going to be showing up on the TV show we talked about earlier?
Yeah, exactly.
We're just kids on the inside. Now tickle me. There you go.
And I tell some stories from my crazy sexapade days, my severe intimacy issue days, we'll say. So yeah. Check it out.
When you used to show people the greatest Bandino of all.
Yeah, exactly.
Frank.
You can catch, I'll be at Comics of Mohegan Sun next Thursday, which is the 18th. Then on December 9th and December 23rd, I'll be up there. Then I got a special day lined up on December 11th, Saturday the 11th, from 4 to 7. I'm playing Santa Claus on Main Street in downtown Westport, visiting all the shops there. And then I'm heading right from there, going to the Grange in Wilton for a comedy show at 8 o'clock. So I'll be busy.
You'll be the Grinch portion.
The Grinch of Connecticut, yes.
Nice. Bobby.
This weekend, I'll be hosting at the Harrisburg Comedy Zone. Come check it out. It'll be fun.
Who's headlining?
Check out the East. Taifu Panda.
Who?
I believe. We talked about it on the Patreon show. If you really want to know, check it out there. I don't remember. And then there's a secret show the following Wednesday, Route 66. Please come out to that. Please. I'm not saying I'm the biggest name on the flyer, but I didn't recognize anybody else, and we could really use some audience members. So if you're thinking, man, I'd
your latest one?
City for a show. This one's
dude. You got a beast of a comic on that show.
Oh, who is it?
Gianmarco Cerisi is incredible.
Oh, he must have been a late edition. I didn't.
I thought I saw him on the poster. I saw it wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought I saw him on a poster.
Well, then I am an asshole.
No, I could be wrong, but he has had his Comedy Central special come out and everything.
Who definitely wasn't just trying to upsell the secret show. Anyway.
Well, I'm trying to sell it up, saying go see that motherfucker.
Yeah. Bobby definitely wouldn't be funny enough. December 11th, I will be in Connecticut throwing eggs at Frank in a parade. And Pat, what do you got?
It took me a second. I don't know why. December 10th, I'll be dressed up like a grumpy elf. Why are we doing this, Frank? What is happening? We said we wouldn't do this, but I do it. I do it for WPLR for their Chaz and AJ thing. They do their toy drive for the kids. There's one comic named Brooke Smith, and she dresses like a nice elf, and then I'm the asshole elf, and I yell at people at 5 a.m. as they're drunk at a radio show. It's a good time and for a good cause. But don't go to that. Just keep subscribing. We appreciate it. It's been growing like crazy. We started this year with less than 150 subscribers, and we're over 700 now. So it's fucking crazy. We appreciate it. And I think most of you aren't Indian bots, but so it's just cool. I don't care where you're from, but just speak the language. We're the number. Where are we? In New Zealand, we're doing well, and then in Kenya, we're doing all right. I love those stats.
Yeah, suck on that, Dombrowski.
Yeah, fuck that, Kevin. So just do that, subscribe, and get over to the Patreon. We've got episodes over there. You get them before anybody else. You get exclusive shows. Go over to the POS Podcast Patreon for those $3 a month. You get all the shows. Sam, thank you so much for being on. Great Brandino, as always. Thank you for your wonderful powers. Frank, thank you for not dying. Bobby, thank you for being here. And as always, Bobby.
And remember, if you can't join them, beat them, and don't be a piece of shit.